Hi guys, it's been a while. Got my keys. I'm in a library. I don't know if I did the library thing the last time. Probably did. It's a nice big ass library. All right. So let's sit down. Yeah. I just finished. Oh, there's so much happening. Okay, so let me just sort out like all the shit happening here, and then we can talk at the same time. Do I like this lighting? I'm not too sure. Do I feel like moving? Not really. It's actually one of the more quieter places in this space, I suppose. There's a screening room, there's the library, this is the library, there is this conference room as well. It's just that in the screening room, there are other people in the other room who are doing some sort of TikTok video or recording, like this one. And this is meant to be a quiet space, but for the most part, this place can be empty, and so I tend to take advantage of it. But yeah, so it's been a month since my last video, and I thought I might as well just give an update and give a reading. I finally deleted all no, I'm actually getting warm. Believe it or not, now it's warm. And I'm so glad that it's warm, personally speaking. Look at my hair. It's actually grown so much. And you know what? I could do better with this hair right now, but I was too lazy to actually comb it. So I was unsure in the beginning whether I wanted to delete the other card readings, the weekly oracle readings that I did, and I finally decided to, just because I wasn't that regular. I don't know how to be regular as much as I want to be consistent and regular. It almost never happens ever. I travel so much and there's so much going on and I'm so all over the place that I just end up not. So I decided to delete it, and I also decided to finally delete the TikTok account that I used to have, now deleted, and it was filled with all these oracle card readings, like, you know, kind of like a very 1 minute kind of reading. Now TikTok has gone to 3 minutes, which I guess, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I'm kind of just used to 1 minute. But yeah. Apparently it's the right choice that I did that. So I'm trying to streamline everything that I'm doing in my life, and you're gonna see this card here. I'll put this away. And yeah, I'm trying to streamline everything that I'm doing in my life. Something's happening. Something's definitely happening. So that so funny that this is coming up, because how I see it is that I'm trying to streamline because I'm tired of doing so many things at the same time. I've been watching so many videos on productivity and knowing what who your niche is, creating your niche, whatever your target audience is. And so there is a golden opportunity for that, for sure. It almost feels like energetically what I'm doing is streamlining so that I can focus on the bigger things. I get that. I totally get that. But physically, I am exhausted and I just want a little bit more peace, and I need a little bit more space in my life to live. Yeah. Like I honestly didn't realize how burnt out I was until very recent. And if you've been following me, I mean, I talk about burnout sometimes, but I don't, you know, I think more about my mental health. I think more about my mental health, but the burnout, that's some serious shit. This is incredible, these cards. Okay, so let me just backtrack, because it almost feels like these cards are telling a story about me, and if it resonates with you, it resonates with you. So it feels like everything that I'm doing is good. It is good for me. It may feel confusing because I have a lot of voices in my head. It's almost like I'm split into two, which is pretty like Gemini of me. I am a Gemini. My son is a Gemini. And it's just this. It just feels like I'm split into two, and not only am I split into two, I'm split into multiple voices that I'm constantly having to listen to all the time. Now, having said that, when I take my ADHD meds, it does help me focus into a little less than a million voices, which is great, but it does help. It definitely does help. And it doesn't mean that the problem goes away. I'm always going to have these voices, but I feel that these cards are telling me that despite the voices that are all over, I am somehow making the right choices. Yes! I am somehow making the right choices. And whatever I'm doing is going to lead to my success. So I'm going to bring you a lot closer to me so that we can talk a little bit more. And give me a moment to like put everything back, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back. And I found a better place where I feel like it's less echoey. There's not so much light. There's that in the background. That's totally fine. I'll show you where I was. Do you see? That's where the dining table, the study table, the conference table is. So I'm just in the corner, and I feel like I'm in my own little bubble right now, and that I can actually talk a little bit better. I kind of felt like because I was staring at the door, I was quivering in my voice. Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna make more a podcast, because it's been a while since I've done a podcast as well, and that's this one where I get to babble a little bit more on what's going on in my life. But for those of you who do follow me on YouTube, I wanted to at least give you an update on what's going on. I'm alive, I'm well, I'm healthy. I'm in LA. It's not so cold anymore. There were a couple of weeks or so that was really cold, especially like last week, but now it's getting warmer. I say that, but every single time I think it's going to get warmer, it gets colder. But today was actually quite warm, so I was kind of like just in this, like sleeveless, which is one of my favorite things to be. Anywho, yeah, so what was I saying? So I deleted a TikTok account that was mostly on oracle cards. I could have built from that. I'm just not consistent in it. And it's not really about being passionate either about it. I am. It's just that other things get in the way. I know this sounds like a bunch of excuses, but I just didn't feel like, no, it didn't really feel like me. I love doing card readings, but I don't want to have that be who I am completely. If we really were to think about niche, I can't just niche down into just oracle card readings, as much as I do love it. It's the same, for example, with working out, with Pilates or yoga, because that was my profession since 2003. So we're coming up to almost 20 years of working out, and I love it. I believe in it. I'm very passionate about it, but I don't really feel like it's my identity. I am not, for the life of me, ever going to want to put out videos on different moves and exercises, whether it's every week or every month or every ever. Already I feel like I'm so impromptu with my exercises that I just do what I do, you know? And I also have a problem feeling like everything is very saturated. There are more than enough yoga, Pilates videos out there on YouTube or whichever the platform you may want to choose. There are more than enough. So that hasn't been my thing either. But I'll tell you what I have been really focusing on the past month, definitely since the beginning of January, is my own studio, which in many ways, I didn't expect to go back to my own studio. I was very happy to leave it behind. And I was searching for a job or a career of some kind where I get to change my career path. That's what I was looking for. I was looking to change my career path and not be a studio owner. And I had requirements. I wanted to be able to do a job that I can do anywhere, wherever I am in the world. I wanted to be able to have the freedom to create, to be artistic in my own way, to be a creator. I know that's going to be probably the most cliche thing nowadays, but I wanted to be a creator. I do enjoy creating content, although I have a lot to say about the creating content now. I'm really not sure about reels, but I mean, I'll do it anyway. But yeah, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I decided finally, or had the realization, that it would be easier for me to create my career path through the company that I own. The sad thing is that at this very moment in time, I barely make myself any money, but I think that this is the beginning of something, so I just have to put on through. I don't have to answer to anybody. I think that's the biggest thing. The problem that I was having before was I felt like I had to answer to people and I had to wait for their responses, and I feel like I can just move on. I don't need to answer to anyone and anymore, and I can decide how I want to live. So I've been putting a lot more focus on OurBodySpace. Focusing on the website, focusing on putting ourselves on social media, starting all over again, starting all over. At the time when I had wiped it all, I wiped everything all, and I think a lot of people think that's ridiculous. That's just like you just starting all over again. But I feel like that was the best thing to do, because now I feel like I'm reaching people organically. There was a time, whether it was my account or the OurBodySpace account, where I'm looking at these thousands of people, but I don't feel like they were real. I felt like they were fake. I never bought accounts ever, but I didn't feel like I was engaging. And I was tired. I was just so tired of that. So I felt like I needed to start over. And personally, I would have liked to not at all, but it wouldn't have been fair to the teachers who actually come and use the studio and rent the studio. I think they want to be able to promote themselves as well, and I feel like that's only fair. So we have completely changed the way we work OurBodySpace. It's no longer that we are organizing the classes, because I'm not doing that shit no more, but that we are offering the space to rent, and I think that works out so much better. And I have so many other ideas, but I'm just gonna talk about it in the podcast. When it comes to my life, I feel a lot more grounded here. Isn't that crazy? I don't like, if I knew that this was going to be the way that I work, I would have done this a lot sooner. Because I think a lot of people believe that like you have to be in the business. And I feel like being in the business itself and being there constantly, I felt like it's being in the city itself, right? There was just so many distractions. Number one, there's so much things to do. There were so many problems. I felt like I was getting sucked into this black hole, and I was getting annoyed. I was getting super annoyed. So and if you do watch the other videos, then you'll know that like It really wasn't easy for me. So not easy for me. Anyway. Taking a moment. Anyway. So when it comes to my mental health, I am just definitely a lot happier. I am just a lot happier. It is so good, and yet there's a part of me that feels so guilty for feeling so happy being so far away. Yeah. Yep. And having so much space. So much space. I get to have a normal life. Wake up in the morning, walk over to the gym, work out, come back, focus on work, and then finally make a decision to actually spend the evening instead of just like chilling, but to actually do this kind of stuff, which I actually really love doing as well. And it's so hard as well because I want to come from a place that is just me without it feeling like I want to teach anybody anything. I do have a lot to say, but I just feel like, there's so much stuff already. There's so much content already. And I feel like there's something wrong with everybody is chasing after not just passion and purpose, but content as well. Like we have to give out content as opposed to what about just experience? Like this is what I'm experiencing right now. I think there's something so important about having a blog or having a vlog or somewhere to be candid about how we're feeling and what we feel is going on in our lives. And that's why I have the YouTube, and that's why I continue to have this vlog YouTube, even though, I don't really have a lot of subscribers, not really my intention to, because I feel then I'm not pressured to give or put out stuff and to make it perfect, like to have my face perfect or the lighting perfect or the sound perfect. Anyway, so basically I just wanted to give an update to say that I am alive and everything is doing really well and I'm doing great. And do follow me, like if you want to listen to a longer babble of me and my thinking, then you can look for a Yogi Start Night. I even deleted my website, and I'm kind of thinking maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. Maybe I should really start a blog with my podcast in it, because I've always got a lot to say. Anyway, come look for me. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.